and welcome our Dr. Susan Shumsky. I want to tell you a little bit about her because she's so amazing. I first encountered Susan when I was having some challenges in my life, and my dear friend, Reverend Kathy Burke, started giving me affirmations and healing treatments out of instant healing. And I loved what she was sending me so much that I bought my own copy. And then when Susan's book, Awakening Your Third Eye, came out, I got to interview her and speak to her then. And now recently, because we have the same publisher and because I'm friends with her promotional person, they sent me her two new books, Third Eye Meditations and Chakra Healing, Chakras and Chakra Healing, and gave me the opportunity to meet Susan. So I want to introduce you to Susan and tell you a little bit about her as we go here. Welcome, Susan. I am so delighted that you are here with us.
I'm completely delighted to be here with you today, Kimberly.
Oh, thank you so much. So Susan has dedicated her life to helping people take command of their lives in highly effective, powerful, and positive ways, which is why we're talking today. Here we are with shelter in place all around the world with the coronavirus or COVID-19. And Susan's work is particularly well suited right now to help us find our way through that. Susan, I'm happy to say Susan is the author of 17 books in English, 34 books in other languages. She has won 31 prestigious book awards, and she is truly a pioneer in the human potential field, as she has taught thousands of people how to pray, how to meditate, how to use affirmations, and how to activate their intuition so that they can help themselves in life. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you for that introduction, Kimberly.
So the thing I wanted to start with today is your time with the Maharishi. Because I know for me, my time in the ashram was some of the most valuable time that I've had in my life. I was blessed with 15 years of ashram living, not having to function in the world. And those of us who have had that benefit, the repercussions for the rest of our lives after we leave the ashram is ongoing. I don't know about you, but I'm continuously having experiences in my life where I remember something that happened or something that I learned or something about a relationship I had with my friends there or my master there that benefits me and blesses me in life. Has that been the case for you?
Being in the ashram, I was there for 2 decades with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He was the founder of Transcendental Meditation and the guru of the Beatles. And being in that atmosphere, it's a holy atmosphere, it's a nurturing atmosphere, and it's a place where you can completely let go and be yourself and meditate and realize who you really are and have the incredible experiences of samadhi, meaning evenness of mind and stillness of body, and really experience that expanded state of awareness that they call Sat Chit Ananda, which is absolute bliss consciousness. So in the ashram, I would meditate anywhere from 5 to 20 hours a day. I know that sounds crazy, but at the time it was necessary. And I'll tell you why. It was because of the density of the atmosphere of the earth at that time. We were cutting through, it was like we were cutting through the jungle with a scythe to try to break through the incredibly dense and negative atmosphere of the 20th century, basically. All the wars, World War I, where 40 million people were killed, and World War II, where 71 million people were killed, and other minor, you could call them minor, but they were also huge millions of soldiers being sent home in body bags. It was really a bloodbath, the 20th century. And because we wanted to transform the world, we knew that the only way to do that was through meditation and through large groups of people meditating if possible. So what my guru did was he would send hundreds of meditators to war-torn areas, to crime-ridden areas, and then the scientists would do statistical studies, and they found that indeed the crime rate went down, indeed the war subsided, and the effect of people meditating in large groups together and people meditating for many long hours, it uplifted the atmosphere of the earth. The earth is a different place now. It's a much higher vibrational atmosphere. So those many long hours of meditation are not needed anymore. People can have incredible spiritual experiences in just a few minutes, whereas way back then it would take days, months, even years for people to have the kind of experiences that people can get today in just a few minutes. So I'm happy to say that the earth is a different place now, that people are much more aware, that there's more interest in Eastern wisdom, Eastern philosophy. 10 to 14% of the population of the United States claims that they meditate, which is, it was really, it's unheard of. In the 20th century, when Maharishi first arrived in the West, there was no meditation, there was no mantra, there was no yoga. These terms did not exist in the West. My guru, Maharishi, was really quite instrumental, along with other spiritual teachers who arrived from the Far East and came to America to spread their teachings. They were all instrumental in bringing a higher vibrational atmosphere to this planet.
Oh, beautiful. My experience was very similar to yours. So like you, we would meditate for long hours, days. We would have regular, fairly frequently, we would have 3-day-long meditations where if we absolutely needed to, we could go in another room and sleep for a little bit and then come back and go back into meditation. Because like you, we were one of those groups who was breaking through that density, breaking through that deep pain body that had surrounded our planet from all of the death that had been happening, all of the violence. And like you, I experience the world now as a much different place. And I see people having breakthroughs in much shorter time and much easier than it was for us. And so I was in the ashram between the late 80s and the early 2000s. And it was a magical time for me. So bringing that forward to now, we have that body. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was that my parents learned to do TM when I was in college. So that was my first peek at the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and Transcendental Meditation. They taught me, I did a little meditation then. That was one of my first experiences of meditation. And then when I was working on my doctorate degree, I found the Maharishi's studies on how meditation, large groups in a single area all together can reduce crime rates, traffic accidents, violence. And so I was very happy to actually read some of those studies when I was working on my doctorate. So I am very deeply grateful to you and all of your friends at the ashram, all of the followers of the Maharishi who have helped to make this world a better place and who continue to show up in large groups to meditate in places where that extra push is needed to help break the cycle of violence, to break the cycle of automobile accidents, to break the cycle of pain that people live in. So if even for a few hours they can have a break from that, they have an experience of something else, which is what we're all about today here, Susan. We're all about that experience of something else. So what is it, I'm imagining that you're sheltering in place wherever you are. And
yeah, I live in an RV actually.
Oh, fabulous.
Right now.
Oh, fabulous.
I am staying inside the RV, and happily my RV has wheels so I can go anywhere.
Oh, nice, nice.
My home is everywhere.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that. And so what practices are your favorites right now for helping you I don't know about you, but we're all empathic, and we're all feeling the fear and the suffering that's happening out in the world. And some days it rolls off of me, and other days I cry all day. Last week I had 2 days where I just cried all day. And eventually I just quit. I got up and I just cried through my day. I'd talk to people on the phone crying, and I'd say, I'm just having an emotional day. Everything's okay. I just ended up carrying on crying. And so what are you doing, Susan, to help yourself navigate the staying inside your RV, feeling everything that you do as an empath, receiving, I'm sure, the emails, the phone calls, the communications that you're getting? What are your favorite tools right now?
I think one of the most powerful tools, especially if you're empathic, is the tool of affirmation. Because when you affirm audibly, not just in your head, we're talking about speaking affirmations that will assist you in closing your aura off, in not being affected by psychic vampires around you, not being affected by the general atmospheric fear that's pervading right now the entire globe, and uplifting the atmosphere through your words. You really have no idea how much power you possess. Or I guess I shouldn't assume, maybe you do. But most of us don't really know how much power we possess. We are creating our own destiny through every thought, every word, and every deed. Lord Buddha, in the first verse of the first chapter of the Dhammapada, he said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. I think that is worth repeating. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. And then he goes on in the verse to say, if a person speaks or acts with a pure thought, then happiness follows him or her. If a person speaks or acts with an impure thought, then suffering or unhappiness follows him or her. So we are creating our own destiny moment by moment, day by day, with every thought, every word, and every deed. We create our own destiny. And, you know, it's not that easy to control the thoughts that are going through our minds. I mean, when we notice that we're having negative thoughts, I suggest the first thing to do is say, wow, I just had that thought about myself. I forgive myself for thinking that. The first thing is to forgive yourself, because you don't want to berate yourself for doing that. You do want to forgive yourself. So just say, I forgive myself for thinking that. And now I am accepting and welcoming the opposite of what you were thinking. For example, if you had the thought go through your mind, oh, I'm so scared, then what you could do is say, I forgive myself for thinking that thought. And now I know that I am peaceful, I am calm, I am integrated and whole. There is no fear, there is only love. I now live in love. So you can say things like that. And I recommend that you say them audibly. I recommend that anytime you affirm something, you do affirm it audibly, because there's much more power in the speaking of it rather than just the thought of it. And also it keeps you focused. When you say things, you're focused. Whereas if you're just thinking them in your mind, you could just go into la la land and forget about what you were what you were thinking in the first place. So here's an affirmation that I recommend empathic people to use every day. And this affirmation will really, really help you. It can change your life. So I suggest that you learn it and that you use it daily. And here it is. I am in control. I am one with God. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. I close off my aura and body of light to the lower astral levels of mind, and I open to the spiritual world. Thank you, God, and so it is. So that's the affirmation that I use to keep myself free from the energies in the atmosphere. Also, though, I would recommend you could use a psychic tie cut affirmation, and that will help you to not be affected by, for example, your loved ones, by specific people who you feel might be draining you, who might be a vampire, who might be judging you harshly, whatever it is, whatever issue you happen to have with someone. I think the best way to handle that is immediately to cut psychic ties with them, because these negative emotions, these negative ties are just dragging you down, especially if you're empathic, just making you feel bad about yourself. So it's best to cut psychic ties. And I recommend cutting psychic ties daily with everyone you live with everyone you work with anyone that you're in contact with, especially people who you're in contact with on a daily basis. Okay, so here's a psychic tie cut affirmation, something like this. I call upon the Holy Spirit to cut any and all psychic ties between myself and, let's say, Kimberly, between myself and Kimberly. These psychic ties are now lovingly cut, 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 lifted, loved, healed, dissolved, released, and let go into the light of God's love and truth. Thank you, God, and so it is. So cutting psychic ties is the best way for you to have loving, intimate relationships with those people that you're cutting psychic ties with. I guarantee you will have better relationships if you cut the psychic ties daily with people you work with people that you live with, all your loved ones.
And especially since we're all so close together right now, since we're not going out. Here we are all at home, very intimately connected with each other. And I'm fortunate, I just live with my husband, and so we have a very peaceful and kind and loving relationship with each other. But I've spoken with others who have a whole house full of family, and it's loud, it's challenging, it's where do you go for a few minutes of quiet when everybody's home that's normally out at school or off at work or out doing something? What do you do in a large family when everyone's home? So these two affirmations are ways that you can always, I go in the bathroom and shut the door and,
Exactly.
and do affirmations or some prayer or a little bit of meditation.
Exactly.
I used to do that in my last job. It was really challenging. So I'd take a break and go off to the bathroom, and I'd cry in the bathroom, or I'd pray in the bathroom and wash my face and go back to work.
The bathroom was your sanctuary.
It was. And later I discovered no one was in the stairwell, so I could go into the stairwell and pray in the stairwell and then go on my break and go back to work. So even, in difficult situations with a little creativity, we can go out for a walk or find some way to have a break from the intensity of family, to come back in our hearts in a more cleared out way. So you were talking about the quote that talked about pure thoughts and unpure thoughts. And I had the hardest time with that for a while. Can you share with us what your understanding is of pure thoughts and unpure thoughts?
Okay, here's an example of impure thoughts. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so lonely. Oh, I'm so poor. Oh, I'm scared I'll get sick. Oh, I'm so afraid. All right, those are impure thoughts. Okay, here's pure thoughts. I am happy, I am joyous, I am fulfilled, I am filled with light, I am filled with love, I am healthy, I am strong, I am immune to any seeming disease, I am filled with power, I am a mighty power, powerful divine spiritual being, I am in control, I am filled with the light of God, so on. So
Oh, beautiful.
there's your examples.
Beautiful. And each one of those is an affirmation. It's a power statement.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful way that when we're having those other thoughts, as you gave us the demonstration before, we can turn whatever is just popping into our brain into a positive affirmation or a pure thought immediately on the spot.
Yes, and it lifts not only your own vibration, it lifts the atmospheric vibration also. Not only are you helping yourself, you're helping the entire planet, because every time you affirm the negative affirmations, you're actually not only debilitating yourself, making yourself weak, making your immune system weak, by the way, as well, but you're also negatively influencing everyone around you. So we can either contribute to world peace with every word, or we can contribute to the suffering of the world through every word. So, you know, if you want to create peace on earth, create peace in yourself first, because that's the best way to contribute to world peace, is being peaceful inside and affirming positive statements about yourself.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Susan. Angela is saying, I'm a nurse and some coworkers are so negative. Can you write those affirmations out? So Angela and everyone else, after we finish today, I'll transcribe those affirmations that Susan shared with us, and I'll send them out in a message so that you can all have them and use them in your everyday life. I like to put the quotes and messages that I like the most on little cards. So I've got really artistic lately, and I've made these beautiful little cards with little ribbons and stuff to entertain myself. And I keep these around all over the place so that at any given moment, if I'm having if I just need a little boost, I pull one of these out. I used to use index cards. I like index cards too. And when I had less time to be creative, I would just write it on an index card. So it was really easy for me to find, and I'd have them all over my desk and on the floor around my chair and by my bed and in the bathroom, in the kitchen, so that everywhere I went, when my mind was giving me an opportunity to do some uplifting and healing, I had something handy there. But I really love Susan's idea of just turning it around with, wow, I just had that thought, I forgive myself, and I know that I am peaceful, calm, and whole, and that there is no fear, there's only love. I love that. And when you say it, you do feel it. You know, when I say it, I feel it in my heart. I feel the truth of it. So
Speaking affirmations of truth has a powerful effect.
Yes, yes.
And the negative affirmations, they're not true. They're ultimately not true. The only truth is the divine presence. That's really the only truth there is. So when you're speaking words that affirm the presence of the divine, then you're speaking truth.
Beautifully said. Denise asks a really good question. She says, how do you discern allowing yourself to feel legitimate emotions with the situation that would warrant sadness or some other lower emotion? Now, that's different. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Susan?
Yes, that's absolutely different. That is grief, that is sadness, that, and even fear, you know, the fear of will I catch this virus or something like that. Every emotion is legitimate, actually. Every emotion that we feel is completely legitimate because we're feeling it. We can't deny what we're feeling. So, you know, when you're in the grip of emotion, just feel it. It's okay. And by the way, if you're having a physical reaction, negative physical experience maybe feeling a stomach ache or feeling heartache or something like that, what I suggest is that you lie down on your bed and realize that pain, I'm not talking about necessarily being sick or something. I'm just speaking of emotional pain that you might feel in your body. Or that pain actually is a cry for help. That's what pain is. Pain is the body wanting you to place attention there. So lying on your bed, and then wherever that seeming pain happens to be, your other kind of sensation or emotion, locating it in your body somewhere, and then just placing your attention there and quietly feeling that sensation, and just consider it to be sensation rather than pain. And when you feel that sensation, you place your attention on it, it will tend to dissipate, and then you'll feel better. You'll feel more centered, more calm again. So that's a technique that you can use if you're having physical reactions, for example. And even if you're gripped by strong emotion, that's a good practice to do, to lie on your bed and just sort of ask yourself, where is that located? Where is that emotion located? And then you'll feel a sensation somewhere in your body. Then you just, it's actually in your subtle body, it's not in your physical body. Then you'll just feel that, placing attention quietly on it. All right, not focusing, no strain, no concentration on it, simply quietly resting your attention on that sensation. And then it will dissipate. So that's a way to deal with that. And absolutely don't deny the fact that you might feel tearful, that you might react emotionally to things. I think that people are all around the world are reacting emotionally right now. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. What you have to be careful of is the negative, saying negative things, complaining, saying negative things about yourself, criticizing yourself, these types of affirmations where you're actually hurting yourself and hurting everyone around you.
I find that with myself. I try to watch just enough news where I'm aware of what's happening, where I know how to pray, where to send prayer, where I'm connected with what's happening, but not so much that it gets overwhelming. And sometimes I go over the top into the overwhelm part, and I'll find my thoughts repeating back to me what I heard in some of those more negative or more angry broadcasts. And as if it was my thought, being an empath. And when I catch that, I've learned to just be grateful and a different version of how you did the forgiveness. I just kind of say, oh, wow, look at you. I'm so happy you revealed yourself. Thank you. And then I go into a positive affirmation that counters it and helps to release it. So these are all ways that we can be present with ourselves to allow what we're feeling to work its way through, to share its message with us. So you've got the big book of chakras and chakra healing on the back. You were just talking about our energy body. And I'd love it if you would share more with us about our energy field. What is our energy field? And how is it helping us right now to be more resilient, to stay healthier, to be more present with ourselves?
Oh, great, Kimberly. So we have several bodies. We live in several dimensions at the same time. We have our gross physical body, which is called the Annamaya Kosha. Kosha means sheath. There are 5 sheaths, 5 basic sheaths, and then there are higher bodies as well. But the first one is Annamaya Kosha, which translates as food sheath. And that's because it is made of food it is sustained by food, and it becomes food for something else after we're gone. So that's why it's called the food sheath. That's our physical body. All right, but we have all these subtle bodies as well. So we have a subtle body called the pranamaya kosha, which is our prana body, the body that's made out of life force energy, known as prana in India, chi in China, and ki in Japan. So that subtle body, that pranamaya kosha, consists of pathways through which prana flows. Those are called nadi in India, and they're called meridian in China. And then when many of these nadis come together and form a plexus of energy, that's called chakra. And chakra means wheel. It's a Sanskrit word for wheel. So it has a hub, which is the centralized pranic energy. And then it has spokes, which are the radiations of pranic energy from that hub. The hub is called chakra. So, well, actually the whole wheel is called chakra, the hub and the spokes. All right, so we have 7 major chakra, and we have 7 other chakra that I talk about in my book, The Big Book of Chakras and Chakra Healing. So the main ones are the root chakra at the base of the spine, which governs your excretion, governs urinary tract and the bowels and so on. And then we have the pelvic or sacral chakra, which is in the area of the gonads, which governs your reproduction, female cycle, and so on. Then we have the navel chakra, which is at the area of your stomach, and that governs your stomach and the organs around that area. And then we have the heart chakra, which is in the area around the sternum area, on your chest, middle of your chest. Heart, it governs the heart and the lungs. And then we have the throat chakra, which governs your expression. It governs speech and expressing yourself artistically. Then we have the third eye chakra, which is right in the middle of your head, in the pineal gland area, extends to the forehead and also the back of the head. And then we have the crown chakra, which is above your head. Those are the 7 major chakra. And then there are 7 other chakra that I discuss in my book called The Big Book of Chakras and Chakra Healing. When my publisher asked me to write this book, I went back to the ancient scriptures of India to find the most authentic information that I could find about the topic. So I found a wealth of information when I actually looked into these ancient scriptures. So it was quite an amazing discovery. And so this book, it ends up being like the most authentic book that I've ever seen about the chakras, and also most complete. It's like an encyclopedia of the chakras. It's everything you ever wanted to know about chakras and the human energy field, and also everything you never wanted to know about chakras and energy field, and everything in between. So it is an amazing book, heavily illustrated. I'm an artist, so I did a lot of illustrations for the book, and also graphics, lots of graphics and charts. It just makes it easier to understand because it's quite a dense subject. But when you start from the beginning, you start, kind of like baby steps in the beginning of the book. And then I just take you through it step by step by step by step. And then it becomes understandable. Seemingly intimidating subject, I try to make it as easy to understand as possible.
Oh, beautiful. I have enjoyed looking through your book, and I didn't know that you did the graphics and the artwork. It's just really lovely. So as an example, I was just looking at this one image here. Let me find it again. This one. with our helping us to see our energy body, how the energy flows, and to see the beautiful Star of David, how the energy flows. Let me see if I can get that on there. In the Star of David in our body, around our solar plexus, which is a lovely, our heart chakra rather, around our heart chakra, which is a really beautiful thing. And like you said, as I was reading through this, preparing for you, there was way more than I wanted to know, but exactly. I was really happy to see it, because there are times when I need deeper references, where I need deeper resources, and I don't read Sanskrit. And I have some of the older books on chakras that are difficult to understand the way, for my Western mind. They were written from an Eastern perspective, and for my Western mind, they're more difficult to understand. And so your book, I love having this reference of like you say in the subtitle, unlocking our 7 energy centers for healing and happiness and transformation. So thank you for this beautiful work. I can imagine what it took to create from my own writing experience.
It really was a labor of love, and it took a long time to create that book. Remember, it was very intense.
I can imagine. I know my book writing experiences have all been intense, but for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And when I was writing my dissertation, doing a lot of deep research, like what you were doing on this book, it is intense. It is intense. So thank you for that, giving us this beautiful work to carry forward and use as we evolve and expand and awaken in our own lives. So your other book, I wanted to come to your other book, The Third Eye Meditations, because this is a sweet little book. And I really loved your Awakening the Third Eye book. So I'm happy. I'm imagining that these two are related.
They are indeed, yes. Third Eye Meditations is a meditation book, though. It's all filled with meditations, affirmations, prayers, mantras, to help you to awaken your third eye, but also really to help you in every area of life. Really, the reason why I call it Third Eye Meditations is because anytime you do guided meditation, what you're doing is you're visualizing, and that helps you to awaken your third eye. So the book, Third Eye Meditations, I do recommend that you can either just read the book and get the benefit of being led into meditation even while you're reading with eyes open, or even better would be to make a recording of some of the meditations that you want to practice, record them onto a device, and then sit down, get really comfortable and cozy, and prepare yourself, and just play back the recording, close your eyes, and just go into the deep meditations that you've recorded. Or other possibility, the book is in audio book. It is available in audio. So you can just get the book in audio and listen to it.
From my own experience, I lead guided meditations all the time. And every now and then I will go back and listen to one of my meditations, and I edit them, so I listen to them that way and I get to feel the benefit. But every now and then I'll lie down on the bed, like you were saying, I'll put on my earbuds and I'll play one of my meditations back. And when I do that, hearing my own voice guiding me through a meditation is a very powerful experience. So I would encourage you to get this book and record the meditations, as Susan was just saying, and hear your own voice guiding you through the meditations that you most need. So Susan, I was wondering, would you take us through a guided meditation today?
Absolutely. We can do that. Why don't we do a meditation where we are focusing on healing the planet, since it needs healing right now?
Beautiful. I was going to ask for your choice.
Okay. So let's really get comfortable. And that doesn't mean to get in the center of the room and sit rigidly in lotus posture. That means having back support and being very, very comfortable and cushy. So let's get in a cushy, comfortable place to sit. And sit there very, very comfortably without straining, without trying to keep your back rigid or anything like that. Just be comfortable. Be comfortable. Comfort's the most important thing about meditation. Comfort. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. And let's take a big deep breath to unite with each other. Breathe in and let it go. Let's take a big deep breath to unite with God. Breathe in and let it go. Let's take a big deep breath of relaxation. Breathe in and release. Completely give up, completely let go on the out breath. And another big deep breath. Breathe in and let it go. Give up, let it go, relax. And a big deep breath of divine love. Breathe in and completely give up, completely let go. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let God. Peace, peace, be at peace. Be still and be at peace. We now call forth all the divine beings of light, our divine angels, archangels, ascended masters, deities, all of our inner helpers and inner teachers who are guiding us, who are assisting us, who are bringing us into a higher vibrational level. Let us call upon Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth and wholeness, to shine the light of truth upon us now and to lift us to higher awareness. Let us now call forth beautiful Saint Germain to bring forth the consuming, purifying violet flame to lift our vibration into an ascension vibration or better. Let us call forth beautiful Master Jesus to surround us with a beauteous sphere of Christ consciousness light. And that beautiful golden light is filling and surrounding us and bringing us peace and blessings. And we call forth the great avatar, the great Mahamuni Babaji. We ask that he bring forth spiritual awakening and illumination to our minds. And we call forth beautiful Kuan Yin and Mother Mary to bring forth divine love. And let's take a deep breath to go deeper. Breathe in. Completely give up, completely let go. Allow. Be at peace. Allow yourself to be completely at rest in the presence of the divine. Allow yourself to be one with spirit, one with your true divine nature. Let us imagine a beautiful white radiant light above our heads. It is the light of God and is now beginning to descend into our energy field. This beauteous white light is now beginning to fill our skull, our head, gradually descending into our neck and shoulders, going deeper, allowing this beauteous, radiant white light to fill our shoulders, our arms, upper arms, lower arms, wrists, hands and fingers, This radiant white light is now filling our chest area, back, stomach area, hip area, the buttocks, the thighs. This beauteous white radiant light is now descending down into our legs, thighs, knees, into our lower legs, ankles, feet, toes. This light is filling our forehead, our temples, our face, our jaw, filling our cheeks, filling our entire head. And we are now vibrating and radiating this beauteous white light, the divine light. It is not only vibrating and radiating within our bodies, it is now expanding, radiating outward, filling our entire energy field and going beyond our energy field into the environment. And we now see that there's a beautiful flame of divine love within our hearts. And that flame is beginning to become brighter and more radiant. It's a beauteous flame of divine love that is merging with the white light, with the divine white light that's filling our entire energy field. And we are beginning to radiate and vibrate divine love to all beings as we are immersed in divine love. It's like we're bathing in divine love and cleansing our energy field. We are fully immersed in this divine love, and it is radiating and vibrating within us and around us and extending out beyond our energy field and into the environment. And this divine love and light, which is coming from within our being and within our hearts, is now beginning to touch everyone around us and to lift everyone around us in our homes, in our neighborhoods, in our city, in the state or province, in the country where we are, in the entire continent of North America, of South America, of Europe, of Africa, of the Middle East, of Asia, Australia, Oceania. The entire world is radiating and vibrating this beautiful white divine light and this beautiful divine love. We are radiating and pulsating with the divine light and the divine love that God is. And we are filling not only ourselves with powerful vibrations of immunity to disease, perfect health, radiant health, well-being, happiness, wholeness, prosperity, love, light, and truth. But we are radiating that to everyone around us, indeed to the entire planet and beyond the planet, even into the entire universe. So we are very grateful for this experience, and with great gratitude in our hearts, We're going to come out of this meditation, but please keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. What we're going to do to come out of the meditation quickly is we're going to blow out candles like this. So let's all do that together. As we come forward from the level of spirit to the level of mind, knowing that our minds have been permanently transformed, lifted, and healed by this meditation. Our minds have been purified and filled with the radiance of the divine presence. And we now blow out another candle, coming forth to the level of the body, knowing that our bodies have been permanently transformed, lifted, and healed by this meditation. Our bodies are filled with radiant health, with immunity, with well-being, with great strength, with great robust wellness. And we now blow out another candle, coming forth to the environment, knowing that the environment has been permanently transformed, lifted, and healed by our meditation. The environment is now vibrating the light of God. And we know now that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now let's blow out 4 more candles, come all the way out to inward and outward balance, and then open our eyes. 4 or more candles. Come all the way out and open your eyes. If you do not feel like opening your eyes, please blow out more candles and then open your eyes. All right, so now let's repeat an affirmation. Please repeat after me. With eyes open, eyes wide open now, say the following words. I am alert. I am very alert. I am awake. I am very awake. I am inwardly and outwardly balanced. I am in control. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Oh, Susan, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. There was so much power in that. I felt the power and the joy, the love, the health, the abundance, the connection, the authority, all beautiful. Thank you so much for that experience.
Welcome. And, you know, anyone can do this. If you use this book, Third Eye Meditations, you can do these yourself. Easy, effortless.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, on the camera, but
yep.
Anyway, there it is.
Yeah.
Third Eye Meditation.
Yeah.
Is the name of the book.
So Angela gives us 3 hearts, and Brandy says she felt peaceful. Angela sent us an elephant, a butterfly, a sunflower, and a rose. I love that. Denise said it's beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And Danuta, from my friend from Lithuania, says, thank you so much, Susan and Kimberly. It was a real treat. Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here with us, Danuta. And so, Susan, how can people learn more about you? How can they access more of your work?
Okay, my websites are drsusan.org, drsusan.org, and also I have a travel company. It's divinetravels.com. That's DIVINE, travels, TRAVELS. That's plural on the travels. divinetravels.com, and you can go to those websites. Also, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and also there's a special gift for you. If you go to susangift.com, susangift.com, you'll be able to see some gifts that you can get for free.
Cool. Cool. I love gifts.
Exactly. Don't we all?
Oh, so thank you so much, Susan.
Thank
And
you for inviting me.
and do you have some parting love or wisdom or joy to share with us?
Yes. At this time, the most vital skill that you need to learn and practice is the skill of intuition. Because in a time of uncertainty, as we are going through right now, you can only depend on your higher self to give you highest wisdom. You can't depend on other people telling you what to do or what not to do. Obviously, you do have to listen to the government that's, that's telling you to stay home and take care of yourself, and listen to their the things that all of us need to do. But as far as personally, what you need to do for your own life, no one else can tell you. You have to learn how to listen to the still small voice within, which will guide you to your highest good and which will create miracles in your life. So start a conversation with your higher self. Begin to ask and receive the answers from within yourself. Practice, practice, practice. Practice intuition is the best way to get good at it. And don't be afraid to make a mistake. Very important. Don't be afraid. On the path to learning the skill of intuition, don't be afraid to make a mistake, because we all make mistakes when we're learning a new skill, such as playing a piano, learning a new language or something. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. So don't be afraid to make a mistake when you are learning to develop your connection with spirit and your ability to listen to the still small voice within.
Oh, beautifully said. Thank you so much. And Sophia says, so grateful. Thank you, Dr. Susan. Pat says, thank you, Susan. I am inwardly and outwardly balanced. I am inwardly and outwardly balanced will help me with my lightheartedness, and so it is. Elizabeth said, thank you. A divinely inspired meditation. Felt and saw the magnificent white light of God radiance in us and everywhere. Blessings to all. Angela says, you guys rock. Lauren Rose from Paris says, merci beaucoup, you all. Carolyn says, beautiful, mahalo, this was a love gift. Brandy says, love from all. Omani Grace says, oh, how joyful. Eva says, thank you, this was how we heal the world, I love you. And Darinka also from Lithuania says, thank you so much. So Rena, thank you. Iona, thank you. Oh, thank you. So thank you so much for being with us today, Susan.
It's my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, what a blessing. Thank you.